Alright, so I'm cozyduck. I made a stupid hack, and I'm going to be telling you a little bit about it during this race.
I'm Thirdwall, and I played the stupid hack, and I'm going to be telling you a little about it as well. And then we've got RBP and Squirrelyman if you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, hi, I'm RBPimlico. I hope you all can hear me. I just got an angry message that I have to turn push to talk on. I think I did that. Thirdwall's laughter is reassuring. Okay, so yeah, hi, I'm RBPimlico. I run this wonderful hack. I won't say it's stupid because I enjoy it too much. And yeah, hopefully I'm gonna, do my part to put on a decent show.
Hi, I'm Squirrelyman. I suck at this hack, but I've played it a bunch, so, hopefully it goes well. Happy to be here.
I say stupid in the most endearing way possible. This hack is unbelievably creative, and it abuses vanilla tech in a way that a lot of people do not do. So I'm very excited for you guys to watch it. Before we start, also, don't forget, at $4,000, we've got the Let's Give Up 100%, which I would love to see Mr. Mighty Mouse have to fight the 100% bosses. So please donate. I want to see that 4,000. And then at $5,000 is 100 rooms of Kuso, which would be ridiculous. So please, everybody, keep donating. Are you guys ready? Do you want me to count you down?
Thirdwall, if you'd be willing to count us down, I think that would be great. Squirrelyman, are you all ready to go?
I believe that silence means yes.
I think so.
All right.
Yes.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, so when I made this hack, I really thought to myself, there's a bunch of hacks out there that really make a lot of real nice platforming, real thoughtful platforming, and I thought I couldn't really keep up with that, so I'd rather do something else. And what I did is I really tried to make a showcase that just displays a lot of really, really weird, stupid vanilla tech that is in the game, but that you don't see often or at all. So like for instance, in this first level, the idea is you have these switches in the wall, and when Mario wall runs into them, he gets stuck there. So you can use this, to have some kind of timing design. Like here, you have to wait a little bit for the shell, and then you can move on. So World Peace actually used this tech in 2017 in Yom. I think he's the only one that I've ever seen use this. But I thought, you could design way more with this idea than what you originally did. So that's basically what I tried to do here. Speedrunners don't really like this level because they have to wait so much, but I don't care. So.
Starting from Yump as an inspiration point is just a very solid place to start. I just want to say that.
Pretty much, yeah.
I love this tech. I think this tech is unbelievable. I love this level in Yump too.
So do I. That level is so good. but all World Peace levels.
Yes.
Incredible. So.
World Peace is the Simpsons of ROM hacking. World Peace has done everything first.
And this Magic Koopa obstacle, I mean, it's really only there because I thought it was fun. It's like not really good, or you don't really have to do anything. You just wait. But whatever. I love this
using the shell to get you running again on the wall run once you get stuck in the switch.
Yeah. So the thing is, when you're wall running, your hitbox actually gets displaced a bit into the wall, so you can use the cape to actually hit stuff inside the wall, which I use here as a mechanism. And as you can see, you can get yourself unstuck from the switches by various means, such as the platform going into you or like something bumping into you. I don't think I've ever seen this before. I just by randomly testing, I ended up finding this. And I thought, great idea, let's just make a really stupid level with this. So here in the end you have this part where you have to escort the Goomba. But if you see those nets with those yellow nets, they will kill the Goomba. Those are sprite killers, so you have to be careful regarding timing and so on.
Squirrelyman getting out of level 1, RBP right behind him, so still a very close race. So this level, the concept is essentially state storage in P-balloons. So if you enter a P-balloon while you're sliding, you maintain the sliding state as long as you don't touch the ground. So you have to avoid these platforms and avoid the ground tiles so you don't touch the ground, so you can maintain your slide state for an obstacle later in the level, which I thought was really creative. State
I-
storage. Oh, go ahead, cozyduck. Go ahead.
I got this idea basically from the Young 2 storehouse in Star World that no one actually does because it's optional. But I basically stole it from Lazy, so there you go. And other than that, you can kind of cheese this a little bit by pushing forward and down while you're like over these platforms. And I was when this was discovered in testing, I just thought, well, I don't want to redo the level, and people won't know about it anyway. So, well, good for you if you figure it out.
G-Breeze is scolding you for stealing, cozyduck.
Yeah.
No steal.
No steal, huh?
All right, the second half of this level is so cool. So P-Balloon is technically a held item. I just missed RBP getting through it almost. So when you go through a sprite destroyer while you have P-Balloon, you maintain the P-Balloon state, but you lose it. You can now hold items while you're still in P-Balloon. So that's taking something chocolate and adding it to something vanilla, and I think that's really interesting as well. Such a cool...
Super Max, there's a way to do this purely vanilla, actually. But I didn't know about it, so...
Another Yump-inspired level. This one is pretty directly taken from Morsel in Special World of Yump 1, which it abuses item juggling by hitting the select button, which I think is something that people are super uncomfortable with. I think it's awesome that you added it into a level.
I mean, I basically had, his original level had it, so I just had to have it. And that was really the concept, just... Morsel has made, he had his remixes with Super Continent World, and he also had me play a remix of a different Infamous level. And I thought, well, let's do the same to him then. Except that, I chose a pretty unknown level, but I really liked it. I really love this concept of, swishing the flower up. It's just fun to do, I think.
It's a great level. I really like the way that you adapted it and made it feel a little bit more Kaizo-like. I think it was a really well done level.
The duck jump part in the end is
I death spiral so hard
duck
there.
jump is a bit stupid, but Morsel had it, so I had to do it. Yeah, so here you have to free the Koopa from the 1F0 so that he goes down and you can jump off it, and then you have this transfer here. You have to use a glitch where you shoot into the escalator, and this transports the fire to the top of the screen. So you can use that to create a coin for the Yoshi to feed, so it doesn't need the disco shell. Now, I thought the escalator thing was pretty obvious because it's been in so many hacks, especially some really often played ones like Young 2. But when I actually saw the streamers playing it, I had to learn that it was not nearly as well known as I thought.
Glitch knowledge in Kaizo is kind of a mixed bag. We tend to know as much as we need to know.
Yeah, and in this final Kaizo trap, you have to you can actually get the Koopa to stop on 1F0 if there's a screen freeze, such as switching your item or getting hit. So that's what I used there. It's also something I randomly discovered just playing around.
This next level is probably one of the more straightforward levels. There's this survival section where you get a shell, and then you have to keep it alive with a disco shell basically attacking you and bombs raining on you from the ceiling. And you need both the shell and the disco shell to get to the next section, which is a really fun water level.
So it's actually the last level I did for this. And the only reason it exists is because for my in-game gimmick, I needed to have a water level in the game somewhere. And so it's a bit filler. I mean, in retrospect... Yeah,
it definitely feels like the most traditional level in the hack.
Yeah, I couldn't really come up with something, weird enough. In retrospect, I kind of wish I went for underwater slopes. But,
underwater slopes. That would have made Link Dead happy.
Yeah, I know.
I think my favorite part of this level is the end where it turns into an auto-scroller and you have to dodge the all of the stuff coming from the bottom along with the flames coming from the right on the 1F0.
It's a bit too easy this part, I would say, but I couldn't have more sprites on screen, unfortunately, so I was getting despawns and, invisible spinies and so on, so I had to I originally had way more. But I guess it's fine, you know, it's really just supposed to make you a little bit nervous, not really supposed to kill you, so...
I'm sorry, did cozyduck say too easy? Do
That's
you have any idea how many runs have died to that part?
I don't, because it's random, but, you know, it's...
I take
Look, I'm not the only one.
back what I
Mobile
said.
also said it.
I take back what I said about not calling this a stupid hack.
Sticky stirrings. This is probably my least favorite level in the hack. I love the boss fight. There's a setup for sticky fly that this uses where you bounce off an enemy, then you have to immediately pull up to get sticky flight, and it is so tight, and you have to do it like 7 or 8 times in the first half. It's tough. It's really tough.
I mean, I tried to make something around sticky fly, and I thought, you know, you can always slow down while sticky flying, but I need some kind of mechanism so that you can speed up again, and it's pretty tough to, you know, just dive and get the sticky fly again.
Especially dealing with the disco shell, as you saw RBP having some trouble with. It can be just kind of on a weird cycle going back and forth, and it's real tough. Really creative level. I think the boss fight in the second half is one of my favorite parts of the game, actually.
I mean, I like the boss better too. It's just, you know, I tried to get the shell to cooperate a little bit, you know, by having some blocks on the bottom and so on. But there's really a limit to what you can do. It doesn't really work perfectly.
It adds to the character of the hack. Don't worry.
But yeah, no, I mean, you know, I never considered scrapping it. I was like, you know, basically whatever. If it kind of works, it's good enough. The hack.
I feel like that's an attitude that not enough ROM hackers take. Is, well, it works kinda, so might as well. Especially in this style of ROM hack where you're using a lot of less than familiar assets and stuff. I think it's really fitting to have stuff that's harder to suss out. It's not as easy just or straightforward. cozyduck, you're being asked, what is the inspiration behind the hack's name?
Okay, so as you know, Morse really likes to quote books in his hacks, and so I thought, well, what's the next best thing? Well, clearly, I will just quote the marketing campaign of a 90s Squaresoft RPG. So that's what it is. It's quoting Xenogears, which
that's wonderful.
Right? So yeah, it's stupid, but you know, I needed something that, you know, the hack has a bit of a sky theme. You know, it's all in the sky, so I thought, well, I need something that kind of refers to that, and there you go. So,
I never knew that lore, and I love it.
Quick note, you can actually save a bit of time in the first half of that cape level over what I did by kind of pump scooting along the ceiling to get speed back, but I am way too uncomfortable doing that in a marathon. I drop off the ceiling way too often.
Yeah, that's really hard to do. I don't do it myself either.
All right, so this level uses another platform that you don't see a lot of. It's this forever scrolling right long platform. I actually tried to make almost exactly this level like a few years ago, and I scrapped it because it was too janky. The way that you handled
everything to work out.
Yeah, the way that you handled enemy spawns in this level is genius. I could not get this level working. and it just feels good.
You can't make it too tight because there is some variance in, you know, when they spawn and so on. And you also need to, like, especially in the second half, there's really a few mechanisms that are there to force the player to be in the right place at the right time. Otherwise, it wouldn't work, you know. So that's pretty tricky.
This is an incredibly creative level that just kind of works when you do it the right way. Especially the second half, which something that you very rarely see in Kaizo hacks, the coin game cloud. And you need to collect all of the coins so you can spawn a 1-up at the end and feed a Yoshi. Very creative use of stuff that you just don't see used ever. Also, the bullet firing, that's something you don't see very often. Just everything about this is just incredibly creative.
Yeah, the Koopa was there also just to force you to be in the back. Because if you're not, you can put yourself in a situation where it's impossible to collect the coin without getting hit by the bullet. So there's quite a bit of that here. There's just a lot of trial and error to get everything to line up correctly. Same here, where you have to make you be in the front and in the back again, just so everything lines up more or less. You cannot get everything to line up perfectly, but you know, just has to be good enough. And
It just has to be good enough.
But you know, I like this end too much to not have
nice.
it. Sorry.
He missed the tongue, but actually got the wings after.
Okay. See, I'm really nice. I give you 2 different ways to solve that. That's more than most hackers do.
This hack just makes me like super happy watching it. So this next level that RBP is entering, the main mechanic of it is swimming in lava tiles. So this is cave lava, and if you're Big Mario, this is a lot easier to do. You can actually just swim up into the big lava. If there's only one tile of it, it just acts as water. Really, really fun concept for a level.
I mean, it is functionally the same as just having water, you know? It's kind of just flavor.
It's the visual.
But, you know,
it's the visual of it is
fun.
very satisfying. I also really appreciate the second half of this level. Using skull platforms, which are by far one of the jankiest, most awful sprites in SMW.
Oh yeah.
And just abusing their hitboxes.
Yeah, pretty much. I think skulls have a lot of potential, actually. I think people use them way too little, or, you know, just way too straightforward ways. But I feel like you can do a lot with them. Like, also, you know, if you know, using some ASM, you could probably do some pretty cool stuff. So let's see if he gets it.
So here's that second half with the skull platforms. They behave in very interesting ways. For one, you can just walk across that 2-tile or 3-tile gap, and you just stick to the skulls.
Yeah, pretty much. It's really pretty much just a showcase that, you know, their hitboxes are just way too big, way bigger than you think.
And then
there's a little bit of
a very rude troll at the end. So if you touch either one of those skulls, it just teleports you up. And then you've got to wait for this turn block bridge, which is a vertical and horizontal bridge. That was early, maybe? No? Okay, he's good.
I also want to point out in the first half of this level, there is a little bit of actual speed tech that I do with shuffling back and forth on the wing block. And the reason I do that is I can push the screen backwards. And if I push it backwards right, I can slip through these spinies at a better cycle.
Now this
All right,
level,
yes.
this level speaks to me.
Speaks to me as well. It's definitely my favorite one. So, I mean, there's a few things to say here. So, these castle blocks are just really janky, and you know, you can. I don't know where I first saw where they're janky. Like, I remember from Hyper 6 Special 3, that's this place where you go through them. But you know, basically here, I just use them as a mechanism to force you to be at a certain point in space. You know, at the time I want you to be. So, pretty much the only way to make this interesting is an auto-scroller. So I'm sorry, speedrunners, but it is it just has to be this way, otherwise it doesn't really work.
I feel like the Cloud is the most underutilized sprite in Kaizo. I think Cloud has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
And the way that you use it here is very creative, especially in the second half of this level. Just getting into and out of the Cloud to be fast enough in the auto-scroller, and again, we'll see very shortly the way you use it in the second half. It's incredibly creative. Yeah,
so, you know, most levels that use Cloud, like even good old hacks, they really basically just boil down to munching levels. And that's pretty boring. So sometimes you get... I mean, the other thing you can do is just mounting and dismounting. This has been done as well, you know, like there's that famous isocentration level in Jump. But, you know, I feel like there's still a lot that can be done. Like, the Cloud level in your hack is also really great, I think.
Thank you, cozyduck.
Probably my favorite one. But, you know, my taste doesn't really align with that.
Yeah, we'll see how everybody else feels about that.
Yeah. So here, this uses a really, really weird glitch. So apparently, while you're moving up, you have to be actually moving, not just holding up. You can phase through layer 3 smashers while you're in the cloud. I don't know why that is. It also doesn't always work. It depends on, I don't know what it depends on, whether it's level mode or whether it's like where you spawn it. But in any case, it's something that apparently is like that in SMW. I'd really like to know exactly why. One day, maybe.
Using those smashers for anything is so difficult because of how unbelievably janky they are.
And so the idea here, basically I'm forcing you to stall at the right time and to advance at the right time. And I have obstacles that will make it so you have to stop going up, and if you're inside the smasher, then you will die. So this part is, I won't say that it's super hard, but it requires a lot of learning. Is that fair? I mean, I think this is what people struggle the most with when they first play the hack.
I definitely had a hard time with this level, especially dying to the end troll.
Well, I mean, okay, that's just me being mean, but but yeah. Also, the whole level has to basically take place at the right side of the screen because there's some randomness in where the smasher spawns. So I need to force it to actually be inside the smasher whenever I want it to, and that's really only possible on the 4 columns at the rightmost side of the screen.
Oh, so, RBP losing the key. What a shame.
I don't think I've ever died like that before, so,
now's the perfect time.
Fill that out on your bingo card.
Yeah, the final trap was a bit mean,
nice,
but,
Squirrelyman.
Oh yeah. But I just had to do it. I could not have that final troll.
I understand that feeling.
It was too obvious. It's too good to pass up.
You had some really good music picks for this hack.
Yeah, I tried to, not use I think a lot of songs are good, but they're very overused. I didn't want to have Zelda or Mario or Metroid or so on. I really tried to look for stuff that I feel like I haven't heard much in hacks. Because there's so much music in the SMW music section, so people really should, experiment. Not just use the classics.
Alright, RBP getting in there and going to avoid the troll, obviously. So rude.
Yeah, that is a double troll. If you see what's going on there and then you kind of wait to try and collect yourself and get ready, then you get crushed. And if you don't see it and you just try to rush for the orb, then you go flying off the edge. Because fun fact, the key will not stop if you have momentum and you just run through the orb. It will go into the lava.
Alright, so this next level, basically it's 4 rooms, and each room features elements from 2 levels of the game each. Now, so
one thing that... Oh, go ahead, cozyduck, sorry.
Go ahead.
One thing that I love about this level is the fact that you have to do both rooms simultaneously, but you can choose which one to start with. I thought that was a really nice touch.
So here, the idea originally was for you to wait for the smasher so it pushes you down to the lower lane, but pretty much no one does that. So I tried to force it, but there's really no good way to do so,
Your use of these platforms in the wall running makes me very happy too, as a glitch enthusiast.
In this part you need to use the green carrot platform to slow you down, so you get enough time to actually hit the shell twice slowly, because if you hit the shell twice too quickly, the setup won't work either. So you need to have that to slow down.
This is also, in as far as I know, the only way to get extended diagonal Mario frames.
Yeah, so this glitch here, G-Breeze showed it to me, so I just have to use it after I saw it.
Thanks, G-Breeze.
So yeah, I can't take credit. Now, for the next 2 parts of the level, originally I wanted to do both, like it was in the first half, before you get a checkpoint. But those next two rooms, they're really pretty slow, pretty methodical. So, I thought that would be way too annoying in the end. So that doesn't happen. And yeah, basically here you have to escort the fire flower up all the way, while making it avoid all those sprite killers. And you need to use the layer 2 that sways back and forth to be able to reposition the fire flower in order to be able to navigate this. So I'm honestly surprised I've never seen something like this, because it's, you don't need any tech to do this, really, you know, it's pretty standard vanilla stuff. And I've seen many similar levels, but I don't know, underwater
that section,
items...
I just felt instant dread entering that section the first time I saw it.
Yeah. Well, what I can say is I nerfed that section a lot compared to my first draft of it. It used to be really bad.
I'm glad you brought back the P balloon auto scroller for this half as well. I always thought this was a really creative idea.
Yeah.
Also, really interesting use of P balloon.
I mean, the thing is, you know, once you're in this weird state, you can't really do anything. The only thing you can do is pick up items and throw items. And everything else is basically automatic. So I really had to get pretty creative to come up with obstacles that would actually be interesting.
So here you actually have to stop Yoshi from eating the footballs by throwing shells at them.
Yeah. So by the way, you can... I unfortunately only figured this out after I released the hack, but you can use this tech to create balloon shell jumps. And I wish I had done it in this level.
And then one last vanilla thing that you can do here is using the green beans to screen wrap. You actually saw this already in I want to say it was in Supercontinent World. Oh no, in Kurisu today we had screen wrapping green beans. Green beans are a weird, janky sprite. They do weird things. They wrap vertically and horizontally. That's not going to be time though. RBP still has to get through the credits.
I also, sorry, I want to say one thing about the room with the P balloon there. You might have seen I used a pause strat. So there's a Yoshi that kicks you up into the air. It can either fall through a little 1F0 tile or it can get stuck on it. If it gets stuck, the mechanism at the end doesn't work anymore because the football chucks are on a global timer and the lag is local. So the football ends up falling out of sync, and the last one that Yoshi's supposed to eat and then you're home free hits Mario in the face. And there's nothing you can really do about it. You can hold on to the shell and not kill a football, and that'll saves you most of the time as long as the lag works out. Or you can just pause strat, which is a little slower but safe.
Yeah, I used to do the shell strat actually, because I did notice that, but you know, there's not much I can do to fix that.
So the gimmick behind this last level is the fireworks sprite in SMW. It makes Mario invisible for a short period of time every time the firework explodes. So you have to make your way through this level with yourself and sprites being invisible because of the fireworks.
Yeah, I mean, this is really here just for fun, you know.
It's goofy.
Again, I could not have it.
The only other hack I've ever seen this in is Bun Bun 2, which is a hack by Seukadelic. Very, very genius. I love all of the creativity that you put into this hack. Just unbelievably cool. And I think that creators can learn a lot from just taking assets already in the vanilla game and just abusing the heck out of them. I think it's a really awesome way to design levels.
Yeah, there's really a lot of potential with vanilla. There's so much stuff that can be done, you know, if you just force yourself to use sprites you don't like to work with. I think that's really the lesson.
Exactly.
So this final part here is really a bit scary because it's just way harder to get your K-pumps if sometimes you're invisible and sometimes you don't have the sound as well. So it's pretty easy to mess up.
And I think that's going to be time for RBP.
That is time.
Right.
GG.
GG.
I gotta say I got very lucky in a lot of places. This hack, if you have watched me struggle through it at all, is very good at just getting you incredibly stuck at certain places. I have not gotten out of the last level for 5 minutes, at least once. There's a lot of very costly deaths in this game, so I'm glad to have made it through.
now we can watch Squirrelyman make his way through some of those levels too. Really exciting. Super fun run to watch.
Yeah, I feel like there's so I also wasn't able to talk. It is hard to run and push to talk at the same time when you don't have a foot pedal. But there's just a lot. There's a lot that goes into getting this run consistent. It's an amazing game, and there's a lot here, and there's a lot of little particularities that you can kind of work out to either, in some cases, save time, or to some cases, just kind of save yourself for some of the harder tricks. What Squirrelyman is doing now is notorious for me as the one section that I have never been able to find anything to help me on. It's just survival. And I really wish that I could figure out something better than just survive.
Sometimes the best strat is just don't die.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wasn't really thinking of speedrunners when I made this. You know, I just wanted to show off some weird tech. I just wanted to make something a bit funny. You know, I thought maybe people would speedrun it, but I definitely didn't intentionally try to make things easy for them. So I'm sorry.
And to be honest, I think sometimes that makes for excellent speedruns. Because you know the fun of speedrunning, of course, as I feel like probably everyone here and watching right now knows, is finding the gaps in between. So when it's not made in mind, it feels all that much better to kind of, you know, to find those little things that help you make the speedrun.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, when you're making something, you just want to make it fun for yourself and for whoever's going to pick it up, hopefully. And I think you did a really good job making something that you and other people find incredibly fun, which is, it's a hard thing to nail.
So what the level I know that you guys talked about already, the level Squirrelyman is on right now is probably my #1 run killer, I would say. Specifically that little baby Koopa that Squirrelyman just hit. I have missed getting Sticky Fly off of that Koopa more often than I have missed any other singular trick in this hack.
Yeah, that's really a pretty tough trick, actually. So, I put it in the beginning and I thought, well, hopefully it's fine.
I mean, that's a good strat. The hopefully it's fine is definitely a good strat.
Basically, this enemy Sticky Fly tech, you know, it's taken straight off Master Course, which is a really old hack from 2006.
Where's Anonymous Bloodlust when you need him?
Yeah, I know. I'm a big fan of that hack. I'm not as big of a fan of it, but it's historically interesting.
I want to say that he worships that hack. It is a really interesting hack, though. What year is that hack from?
It's 2006.
2006. That's
so,
incredible.
As far as I know, it's the first hack I've seen. So, I don't know if any earlier hacks did it, but
Nice, making it through the first half.
It's a very weird hack, actually, for 2006. You know,
it's a weird hack for any time.
Oh yes, that's true. But you know, most hacks back then, they really tried to emulate whatever Nintendo was doing, and that hack really just does its own thing, for better or worse.
I just want to say really quick, we're only about $100 away from that Let's Give Up 100% run, so keep donating. I really want to see Mighty Mouse do that. Do it for me, if not for the charity.
I very much want to see Mighty Mouse do that. I think that is an excellent incentive.
Do you actually mind if I read off a few donations?
Yes, please.
Yeah. We got $20 from Anonymous, just saying, great run. I've got a $218 donation from Darkeneye, saying, stand tall, shake the heavens, and hopefully later, let's fully give up. Really looking forward to giving up 100% of the way.
We're only $100 away. Here, I'm gonna get us there then.
Oh, I've got
Thirdwall.
I want to see it.
I've got
Whoa! Hold on a second.
I've got $20 from Yeti Buka saying, go RB, go. RBPimlico.
Thanks,
And
Ian.
I've got $12.50 from Snug Goose saying, good job, Cozy Duck.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, really outstanding hack, Cozy Duck. I had a really good time with it, even when I was suffering.
Yeah, no, I absolutely loved it. And I'm sorry, thank you so much for all those donations. That is what we're here for, and I'm glad to see it all coming in. Hey, there it is. There's that 4K.
Hey.
Oh, am I spoiling? I'm sorry. Wait, am I ahead on time? Am I in the future?
You had it on time.
Oh, perfect.
I've got $100 from Thirdwall.
Who's that guy?
Who?
Some. I couldn't think of something sufficiently like both kind and deprecating to say. So,
I got you.
that simply says, and then you die.
And then you die.
And then you die. So there's a while we still have maybe a little bit of time, there's a couple other things I didn't get a chance to say about the level Squirrelyman is on. The entrance into this boss, as I have run the game more and more, has become harder, demonstrably harder, because the diagonal sensitivity on my D-pad between left and up has worn down, as I have needed to hold sticky fly and then press up to enter that pipe. So starting about yesterday, entering the pipe would kill my left input sometimes, and I would just fall, sadly, into the death water. And every once in a while here in this boss, sometimes these little chucks get stuck underneath the platforms that they're kind of supposed to be on top of, which is still survivable, but changes the timing and gives you about half a second to react to the fact that you suddenly have a different timing, which is a wonderful way to kill runs.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. See, that's a little bit of that. As long as even if you give me half a second of reaction time, then I mean I can still react to it, right? I can't blame you. I want to, but if I can react to it, I guess it's my fault.
Stand tall and reduce your controller lifespan.
that is a very accurate name.
Thank you, Millie.
It's the endless revolve gets it. It's like 30 whole frames to react. We're talking. That's a bounty.
30 frames is a lot of frames. All right, out of the box.
Yeah, stand tall and carry on.
Nice.
This run is probably going to get mercy killed, so I'm sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I just had my worst run, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't be sorry. This game's brutal.
Yeah, no apologies.
This game's
No
brutal.
worries, no worries.
Yeah, this is a really, really difficult ROM hack.
Yeah, so we do need to move on to the next run, but we that was a great race, and it was stellar. Thank you so much, everybody. That was fantastic.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for having us. Thank you so much, Thirdwall and cozyduck, for commentating. Thank you to the team, Dr. No, as always, the endlessly turning cog behind the scenes. Thank you so much, and thank you all for donating.